Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who's new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is going to be the review of the Playing in Makeup by Yolondo Jamrock-No Limitations Palette. This is probably the longest name in the introduction that I've ever done. So this is how the palette looks. This is not only a video about this palette, it's also a first impression of Playing in Makeup by Yolondo as a brand, because this is my first product that I have from that brand, and I got actually alerted to this brand by Ashley, who is one of my subscribers. And I had a couple of months ago, I had asked you, if you see a sale going on somewhere, please tag me in the post on Instagram or let me know, DM me. So because I want to buy my makeup when it's on sale, because you know, like that, I'm just being a smart consumer, right? So I bought this, I think in the beginning of January. There was, I believe it was a 40% off sale on their website, and I went ahead and bought this, and I was so torn because there are so many beautiful palettes color scheme wise on their website. I was so torn, but I really could not like buy more than one. Plus I first wanted to try one of this new brand and see if I like it, and then I can always go and wait for the next sale, right? So anyway, so this is what we're doing today. I created a lot of looks that you're probably going to see right now, right on top of me. These are the pictures from the photo shoots of all the looks that I have done with this palette. I've been trying to go through basically every color scheme and use almost every color in this palette, because this is what I do. If you're new here, you maybe don't know that I'm going away from doing first impression videos, but I rather go and just do a couple of looks and then film my last look that I'm doing with that palette and do a review instead, because I feel so much better about being able to talk to you about the palette, about the performance, if I like it, if I don't, if there is any problem with the palette or any concern or anything like that. And because I'm not so good at doing like 3 looks 1 palette in one video, because my makeup looks take a long time and I don't enjoy to be pressured. So that's why I came up with this, that I'm just putting the pictures of those photo shoots on the screen so you can see what I played around with, you know. And of course all of those photo shoots will come up probably in order the way you saw it right now, right after each other. They will come up on my social media if you want to see more pictures. Of course there's going to be probably like 10-15 pictures of each of those looks. So anyway, this is what it is. I'm not going to swatch this super huge palette, but I want to show you a few of the shades so you get an impression. Okay, so let's just go in and maybe swatch a few of the shimmers first, and then maybe a couple of mattes. Let's maybe go in with this one here. The shimmers are absolutely creamy and beautiful. I love this. So this is the shade Simone. And excuse me, my arm is still a little bit affected from my rash, but it's getting better. It's good enough for me to be able to do swatches. So I think you can see the way it I don't know if the color itself picks up very well because of, you know, my whole situation here with the setup, but I think you can see how foiled it is and how like metallic it looks, you know. Okay, so let's maybe go and use the blue one, which is Sandra, which looks like this. It's like a light kind of a blue. Do you see how they swatch? Is that like yeah, I do have one small issue with most of the shimmers, or let's say some of the shimmers, and I'm going to tell you that in the review part at the end. Maybe let's also swatch the red one, which is called Claudia, which looks like this. I used that in my first look that I did with the palette. This is really insanity. This is, when swatching, absolutely blows my mind, seriously. Okay, so let's maybe also use one of the more neutral shades, like a leaning brown. Now of course I have so much color on my fingers that it's ridiculous, but anyway, so this is one of the browns. I've also used that in my neutral look that you saw already on the picture that I have blended into the video, or you know. Okay, and now maybe let's go into some mattes. Okay, so now I'm going to use the shade Patsy, which was really also one of my favorite shades. It's like an olive green kind of a shade. It's super beautiful. I combined it with a dark green and a yellow, and it was absolutely stunning, beautiful. Then maybe let's use the blue, the dark blue that I have today on under my lower lash line, which is called Renee. What a beautiful name. Love that name. Okay, so the mattes really don't swatch that well, but they did actually perform really well. So this is just to give you an impression, okay? Because I'm not manufacturing anything here. It is what it is, okay? And maybe also one of the darker shades, which is a very super dark green, which is called Missy. I'm also going to talk about that one later on in the review part. So this is a very, very dark green, which almost looks black, but it is green. So that's how it looks. Here you can see maybe that it is like a very, very dark green. Okay, this is what we're going to do about the swatching. I know it's not a lot, but I'm not going to take the time to like go through all the shades, okay? I hope you do understand. So anyway, I'm going to create this look now in a sped up version. I'm going to put some music so it is more entertaining. I hope you will enjoy, and then afterwards we are of course going to talk in depth about my impression that I had about the brand, about the palette, and my conclusion about all of that. So I hope you enjoy the makeup look and the review part afterwards, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, sweeties, we are all done. This is the finished look, my final, I think the 5th look that I did with the palette, and I think it is different, because actually why I chose those colors, just because for that one reason that I haven't used them yet, you know. So I just try to sort of make it work with whatever I had left. There are a few other colors obviously in the palette that I haven't used, but not color schemes that I haven't used. So let me just, you know what, first of all, let's zoom in so you can see it a tiny little bit better. And then I'm going to talk with you a little bit about the palette. Okay, so let's just get comfortable. Okay, so of course I have used all the color schemes in the palette, just not every color out of every color scheme. For example, I did use the whole brown color scheme area here, but I did not use all of the warm tones. I did not use these 3 warm tones. I did use this one though. Okay, so as an example, so I think I did pretty well. I used really, let me see, most of the colors I did use. Is there any color besides those 3 that I did not use? I think this one I might not have used, but other than that, I think I did pretty well, honestly. Yeah, so how was the experience? The experience was really, really good. I could not believe the first time that I used, I think that was the look that I was wearing in the indie eyeshadow tag. If you want to watch that, that's already live on my channel. So I was going for this color scheme right here, and I was actually very, very impressed, because that was really the first impression, the first look with the palette, and the first brand impression of Playing in Makeup by Yolondo. So I was really, really impressed, and I knew on that morning that I would be filming the indie eyeshadow tag later on that day, and I was thinking, is that a good idea to try a new brand on a day where you actually have to film like a big video that potentially a lot of people are going to see? But I was actually really, really happy with the outcome. It looked really, really fierce though, but that is just the color scheme that I chose and the fact that it was like a super winged out cut crease. So you saw that, of course, also in the pictures that I showed you in the beginning. That was the first look that I did. I also really, really did like the performance of the browns, and I actually, because there is no black in the palette, this looks a little bit like it might be, but it is actually like a very, very dark green, and I used that in the neutral look to deepen up the look, the outer corner, you know, and it really worked super, super well. I didn't think, but it did. I could have as well have used this one, which is a very, very dark neutral brown, but I don't know, I was just drawn to this one, and it worked really well. Then of course I also did that green look where I really, really featured this color also, and I think I combined it with this one and the yellow, and that was also super, super pretty. The gray, the silver shimmer here was absolutely stunning. I really, really like the performance overall. There is something that I need to mention, and that is that these shadows do stain. Not the green shadows, not the neutral ones, but the red does stain. It definitely does. For me personally, it's not an issue. I don't care, because I really don't care. Like for me, it does not, the staining doesn't last a long time. You know, when I take off my makeup in the evening and I clean my face, and in the morning I clean my face again before putting on my makeup again, it's basically all gone. So for me, it's not a big deal, you know, at all. So anyway, but I just have to mention it because, you know, it's what happens. So I assume that also this this color scheme is most probably going to stain. Then I also have to mention that some of the shimmers do not pick up very well on the brush. They are all spectacular using them with the fingers. It's very, very foiled, super, super opaque, really, really pretty. But some of them, like for example this one and this one, do not pick up well on the brush. Also, I think this one. So that's why using them with the finger is the better choice. I have heard, getting a cramp in my hand. I have heard that one can use a silicone tipped brush to do that. Instead, I don't have that, so that's why I used my fingers and I was fine. If you're doing a super winged out cut crease, or not even a winged out cut crease, just a cut crease where you have to work a little bit more precisely, then it is a little bit more difficult, like that first look that I did, where of course because of the cut crease I had to, you know, try to be super precise, but I made it work. It just takes a little bit more time, though the colors and the performance once you're using it with the fingers is absolutely amazing. So what am I saying? I'm saying that this is absolutely a palette that is ranking very, very high in my favorites because of the color scheme, because it's all like rich, darker colors. Like it's like a moody palette, if you ask me. You know, it's not this fun springtime pastel palette that everybody is sort of up for now because it is springtime. For me, this is absolutely beautiful, and this is a palette that I can use all year round because I feel those kinds of colors all the time. Now, what I've been trying to do is also, of course, with previous palettes too, where I had the option, when I do have some kind of neutral corner in a palette, that I'm also including a neutral look, because first of all, for me, this is good to go there, because when it comes to neutral looks, I'm still learning, you know. I'm starting to like it, but it is anyway still a decision to do it. you know what I mean? So but I'm so enjoying this, you know. It's so nice to just play around and just stick to one palette for almost a week now and just explore and explore and explore. And of course I really just scratched the surface, because in a palette like this you have so many options also going in between the different color schemes, that there is really, like, you could use this for like 3 months and probably not have the same look twice. And I love this. I love big palettes. What can I do? Like, this is perfection for me, you know? So just saying, I think all of the shadows that you saw in here performed well. I did not come across a single one that did not build well or that did not like perform well in general. The mattes were very buildable. They were maybe not like super boom right there from the beginning, which I think is nice. I think that is super helpful, especially when you're a little bit like newer to makeup. I think that is a more beginner friendly formula. It doesn't mean though that they didn't perform well. I think they really build well, because I don't know if you saw now how many layers I put on top of each other, and I think that is a very good sign of quality, that you can build them not only the same color on top of each other but also other colors on top of each other. So I'm really happy with the performance, and I highly recommend this palette. Of course, this is the only one that I have as of right now from Playing in Makeup by Yolondo. I'm planning to get myself more at some point, definitely. So my verdict is it is absolutely Leorah approved, as you can see in this look and also in the other looks that I showed you at the beginning, that this was a real success story, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm pretty sure that you would too. So anyway, this was it for today. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave me your comments in the comment section. If you have this palette or any other palettes from Playing in Makeup by Yolondo, let me know what your experience is, or if there is one that you would absolutely recommend for me to get because of the color scheme, because of the performance, or both. And yeah, so I would absolutely love to hear from you. Besides that, of course, you find everything that I used in the description box down below, and also all the other information that you need to have, absolutely need to have about me. And I would love it if you were to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you here for my next video very soon. And up until then, go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.